The next thing is find the zeros of the function. Okay, does anybody remember? That's a weird terminology. Okay, Casey, do you know what it means to find the zeros of the function?
Yeah.
Am I putting you on the spot? Do you want to think about it?
Let me take a second. I think she
Okay.
knows.
It's where the line crosses the x axis.
That's exactly right.
Way to go, Casey.
Casey, did you remember that too?
Yep.
Okay. So what your teacher likes to know sometimes is it wants to know where the function crosses the x-axis. And think about it. When you're crossing the x-axis, what's your y value? Think about the x-axis. It's got a lot of x values, but what is the y value on the x-axis?
That's why when you're sitting on
Is it 0?
Yes. So guess what?
told
That's very good. You said it. I heard that out of my left ear heard it. It was quiet, but I heard it too.
Yeah.
So that's why we call it zeros. We're finding the zeros, which is when the y value is 0, and that's when it crosses the x-axis. Just in case you were wondering, you know what it means, but why call it zeros? Okay, so to do that, we're going to go back to calc, which is that second function key, blue key if you can see color. And we're going to press trace again. Okay, well we just did value, so we have to come down to the second choice. So if you'll arrow down on your TI-84, did you hear 0?
Yep.
Isn't that what we said we wanted to be doing? Okay.
Yep.
So again, we're going to press enter on the TI-84.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Can we just call it 3?
Mine's still talking.
Okay, so we're not going to mess with that right now because that would take a little more time yet. But you can go in and change it to where you don't have that many numbers behind the decimal point. I've already changed mine. I only have 2 numbers behind the decimal point. That'll be not really, but I was going to say, I'll have to tell Miss Mark next time, Miss Mark.
This time I'll make sure my calculators are less verbose.
And but no, the first time I did it too, I was like, oh my gosh, I was exactly saying the same thing Casey did. Ooh, let's just round that up a little bit because it's too long. But I got mine before you, so I've had a little more practice to fix things like that. Okay, so did anybody hear what it just said?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna arrow down.
9 something something
Okay.
something something.
Let's see. Okay, shh. Listen carefully. Okay, anybody tell me what quadrant that is?
The first quadrant.
No. It said, let me see if I can hear it again. Okay. I got it.
Oh, it's the fourth.
Fourth plus minus is the fourth quadrant. That's right. Okay. So now I think Tracy was acting like she was a little bit like me in that we're looking for the zeros where it crosses. But I'm one of these that wants to start from the beginning, and we're way over here, part of the curve. So you know what I forgot to do? I'm thinking that that I probably would have want to put the calculator in tone mode to do what, but I can do it right now. So we have it in speech mode. I think that's where it was last. Let's put it in tone mode. So anybody know what to do? It's the same thing as you do for speech mode. The shift, which is .6 and .1. Did we get tone?
Yes.
I'm not sure if I heard it. Okay. I have to listen myself. Okay, so what we're going to do is go back now to the TI-84 Plus, and with that left arrow, we're going to, right now we are on this parabola, we're in the fourth quadrant, and where we want to get to is the second quadrant. Does that make sense to everybody? So we're going to have to stay static-y as we're going left, and then eventually we're going to get above the x-axis, and that's where we want to stop. So everybody try to listen carefully to your calculator as you left arrow. Should be going down.
Use your navigation keys on the top.
Oh.
Right there. Let's see what that is. Keep on.
Are you above the?
Going
Okay, you are.
And this isn't wanting to do it.
Okay, are you left arrowing?
Yes.
Keep going. You just got to keep going further. Go faster. I know you want to do that. Oh, there. Can you hear that the static is gone? So stop. Don't go any further. Okay. Everybody above there. Okay. Now what it's saying is left bound, and so it's basically above the x-axis, right? Okay. And you're going to say for the first 0, that's just fine by pressing enter.
Am I at the first one?
Yes.
You're right, you should be.
And now
Wait, enter it.
did you? Yes, enter. Okay. Now it's going to do right down, which means you've got to go further along on the graph, and you have to get below the x-axis, and that way, in other words, the left bound, you're above the point of where it's intersecting the x-axis, and now you're going to go below it. So do your tone mode until you
Right
can.
arrow.
I'm sorry, right arrow until you can hear that you're just below the right. Back in the static,
And stop
and stop as
as soon as
soon as you get into the static. Yes.
You're going way too far. You want to stop as soon as you get into the static.
Oops, you went. You're actually okay, but you went a little further. Let me just in case it doesn't. If I don't want to mess you up, I'm gonna send. Sorry, send you back over. In other words, you should have done it just as
You know
soon
what
as you heard
parabola is
the
shaped like, right? It's like kind of U-shaped
static.
thing.
Okay,
Just
all
as you
right.
do the
Now,
left
are
and
you
right
there in the
arrows,
right
it's like
place?
sending a little dot.
Okay, good. All right.
Up here, now we're going back.
Okay, so
under the
this
line.
is the right bound, what they call the right bound, and now you're going to press enter again. And we're just going to say yes. We're going to guess. So press enter again. And to hear it though, you're going to go back to your Orion navigation keys and press the arrow down. Good.
X equals minus 3.16227 y equals 0.
Okay.
X
If
is
you had a little
minus
few
3
more
and
numbers
y
than me,
is
it was
0.
still about the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It said the same thing.
It said minus 3 and then
Okay.
y equals 0.
So approximately negative 3.16, that would be your 0 on this side. Now, the graph is going to cross the x-axis on the other side, right? So what we want to do now is we're going to use, again, the down arrow key, right arrow keys on the navigation part of the TI-84, and we're going to basically stay below the x-axis, but I'm going to just say, let's just go beyond the point where it's at the vertex where it's the lowest. Just get a little past that where you're still in the static. Does that make sense? No,
You're following the
you're following the
curve
curve.
of the parabola down,
Oh, okay.
and at some point you'll hear it start going up.
Right,
So
right.
I just want you to stop when you hear it
Starting to go up.
Oh, okay.
Does that make?
Don't go so far that you don't hear static.
Right. If you do that, you've gone too far. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I just pressed trace just to get back. I just pressed trace to get back on it. That got me right back on. I think that'll be the easiest thing.
It's still not doing it.
Down.
Oh, right arrow?
Yes, there you go.
Once
There you
we
go. Right
press
arrow.
trace, we use right arrow.
Yes. So trace will just get you back if you get off.
Down the parabola. Yes, it's working this time. Good to know about that trace.
Okay. All right. Are you still below there? Okay. Oh, you know what we haven't done? We went and did this. Sorry, I skipped a step. That's what happened. Okay. We have to go back to calc again because it only does 1 0 at a time. So we're still okay. We're in a good position, but we have to go. We have to tell it. We have to tell it what we want. So we have to press second and trace to get into calc. Arrow down to 0.
2.
Press enter.
Got a calculator in this one. Good.
And we're fine. We're at the left bound. We got there on our own in a very strange way because we didn't, because Miss O stopped looking at her paper over here. Okay, so now we have our left bound, and we're going to say enter.
Okay.
Right bound, right bound.
Now the right bound, we want it to be
You have to-
above.
You have to keep moving.
Right, so
to
the right arrow and
you're
move it until you don't
above.
hear static anymore. That means you'll be above the x-axis.
Right bound, right
Right
bound.
there.
And then, once you're there, you can go ahead and press enter and say you're okay with the right bound.
Yes,
You found your right bound spots. Go ahead and press enter.
right bound.
And it's going to say, but before you do it, it's going to say guess. But can anybody, before the calculator tells you, can you guess what the 0 will be on the right side? If you know anything about parabolas?
I don't so.
You don't?
Not really.
Do you happen to, Daisy? What would be your... She thinks it might be 3.16. Previously, it was negative 3.16.
Oh.
Let's see if she's right.
I
Press
think
enter.
she's right.
Yes, 0.
And you have to
That's
arrow
the
down
right
with on the Orion.
On the
You can have it-
Orion?
on the Orion part, you have to arrow down.
Go to yes, right?
Oh, did you haven't done your guess? Yes. I mean, enter. Enter first, and then arrow down so you can hear it.
X equals 3.162.
There you go.
There you are perfectly right. Okay. With parabolas, that's what's so neat. Truthfully, if you're like me and you're a little lazy and you didn't want to do the other one, you could have just said, "Oh, I know what the other one is." because you have your axis of symmetry is the y-axis, and so anything over on the left side, if it's negative 3.16, it's going to be on the right side. It's going to be 3.16, and you'll learn more as you learn more about parabolas. You'll find out that your brain can let you shortcut some of these things, and you don't have to do.
Parabolas.
But
have so much fun.
so and I think that's probably why Miss O's brain just kind of like thought, well, I already know what the other answer is. I'm ready to quit. But oh no, I have to go back and do. I have to tell the calculator. Okay. So again, keep in mind, but let me tell you, the only way I learn things is by making mistakes. If I did everything perfect, I wouldn't learn anything. It only sticks after you've made the mistake a few times. So you have to go back because there were 2 zeros. You've got to go back and do. If there were more than 2 zeros, you'd have to go back. However many zeros you have, you've got to go back. The TI-84 Plus, it doesn't do everything at once, and that's a difference between it. And if you're familiar with the audio graphing calculator, and I think that's part of my problem is because on the audio graphing calculator you can find all the zeros at once, or you can find all the intersections at once and so forth. But here you have to go one at a time, and you just have to know the TI-84 Plus for that.